Many thanks to DayZ Podcast, Pandemonium, Fatal Attraction Validity servers, Atlas, Mutated Jurassic Outbreak servers, one original DayZ servers, Dust Validity servers, Sheriff Line, Apocalypse Now server, and Sauerkraut for making this video possible. DayZ Update 1.22 has just been released to experimental for all of us to play with, so like usual, I've given everything a quick once over to see what's new and what has changed this patch. Starting with the new stuff, there are 5 new backpacks this patch that have been added, which includes these 3 sling bags, these 2 canvas bags, 3 variations of leather duffel bags, 4 army pouches which aren't for the belt, so these aren't pouches that connect to the belt, they're standalone backpacks. And finally, 3 variations of the now craftable dry bag, so that comes in yellow, green and orange, which is only craftable with the rope. I did try metal wire and barbed wire and even guts. We also have 4 variations of the hip pack or demonetization pack. There are now new sounds for many different actions, which includes opening can with a knife or a can opener. Both of these are the same though. The sound for washing your hands with a bottle is different, but there's no sound for using water sources to clean your hands. Items interacting with water will now sound when the item hits the surface of the water instead of the floor beneath the surface of the water. They reduce the volume of sound when you're driving over certain surfaces with vehicles, as some of them were quite loud, but I didn't notice any difference myself. There's apparently a new animation for sound when activating a heat pack, but I couldn't activate a heat pack, so I couldn't see the new animation or the new sound. They've improved the sound of explosives and improved the suppressor weapon sound too. Here's an example from the previous patch compared to this patch. Melee weapon and armor changes might be the biggest change that we've seen in 1.22. They've balanced gear armor values against melee weapons, they've balanced the damage caused by melee weapons and infected. Blunt weapons now cause more shock damage than they do health damage, whereas sharp weapons in DayZ will now cause more health damage than they do shock damage. Also, the chances of suffering a bleed is now dependent on the weapon and infected type that hits you, as well as the protective clothing that you're wearing. Certain low tier sharp weapons will no longer cause a pushback when you do a heavy attack. Chance of suffering a bleed is now based on the weapon's armor and type of attack. They reduce the amount of backpacks that spawn on infected, reduce the amount of backpacks spawning in the world, rebalance spawning locations of backpacks, reduce the amount of tools that work as high tier weapons and increase their low tier counterparts. Gasoline canisters will no longer spawn with full gasoline, petrol canisters will no longer spawn with full petrol inside, and the power generator no longer spawns with full fuel either. Users can now favourite a server from the direct connect window, so you can tick this box while you're connecting to a server to favourite that server at the same time. All of these server tabs up here will now refresh simultaneously, so as soon as you launch the launcher it will start to collect the servers that you can see on all of these tabs at the same time. All of the servers that you see here now have the player column displaying the exact amount of people that are on a server, and this is color coordinated based on how many people there are on the server, and the mods you have are now verified before you join the login queue, which is a fantastic change. Other changes include a white variant of the fingerless wool gloves that we got last patch. It was not possible to detach the battery of a head torch looted from an infected, it now is. Road flares would continue to burn after they become ruined. When you ruin them now, they will extinguish immediately. They reduce the damage that belts can take from torso hits to 20% now, so this includes a new hip pack as well. And the center screen item widgets will no longer be visible when you're blinded by a flash grenade or burlap sack. And finally, for this video, server owners can set the energy quantity of gas canisters, power generators, road flares, etc. Those are the details I believe everybody should know on the first look at 1.22. I will be going into more detail. For now, you can get slightly more details on the previous video that I've made for this patch here. If you want to read the patch notes for 1.22, they are below. I've linked them. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.